5 reasons why poor people buy what they can't afford. Prior to the release of the new iPhone in September 2018, WalletHub carried out a survey in which about 28 million Americans showed their willingness to borrow money to buy iPhone XS. Why do people buy what they can't afford? This video will answer that question, and if you're new here, consider subscribing so that you won't miss other interesting videos like this. Number 1. The first reason why poor people buy what they can't afford is low self-esteem. I remember my days in college. I was using the least expensive phone among my friends, even though I was the most famous in my class. Because I always see myself as the best, I usually have no reason to try and buy what everyone is buying, just to meet up with them. Most people buy things simply to meet up. Who are you meeting up with? And why are you meeting up with them? The only reason why people have the need to meet up is because they think they are less than other people. That's called low self-esteem. Buying things you can't afford simply doesn't make sense. But only people with a healthy self-esteem can stand against the crowd. Here's my advice. If you find yourself spending the money you don't have to buy things you cannot afford, I think you need to look inwards and work on yourself. Knowing that your life is not measured by things you have will help you to buy only things you need. Reading few books about self-esteem can as well help you. If you care too much about catching up with others, you have some problems and you need to work on yourself. Number 2. The second reason why poor people buy what they can't afford is because the rich buy them. Earlier this year, there was an uproar in the news about how an American entrepreneur spent $100,000 a single night at a party. Every now and then, the poor and the middle class see how the rich do weddings, buy luxurious cars, wristwatches and others, and they too wish to do the same. There are 2 problems about this. First, the rich man you see buying luxuries isn't buying them from his income. The rich usually have a great discipline not to buy luxuries for many years. Instead, they will invest their money into good assets that bring them passive income. Almost all of the time, the rich simply buy their luxuries from the assets, which means they lose nothing. However, when the poor and the middle class see how the rich spend money, they feel like looking rich as well, so they buy these liabilities from their income, which will make them poorer. The second problem is that luxuries you see the rich buying could be as small as 0.0001% of his annual income. In the example I gave earlier, the entrepreneur who spent $100,000 a night at a party actually made over $43 million last year. When someone who made $43 million throws away $100,000, that's like you throwing away $50. Again, you'll do well in life if you stop comparing yourself with other people. Listen carefully to this. Material things do not give you lasting joy. You can only be happy for a few days. Going into debt because you want to look rich is a poor decision. Believe me. Number 3. Lack of self-discipline. The most important word in English is no. The more no you are able to say, the better your life will be. But it's tough to say no to the shining objects all around us. And that's why self-discipline is very important. If you're not disciplined, you'll live your life simply following the crowd. Each time you know there's a new iPhone, you want to be the first among your friends to buy it. Whenever there's a new trending clothes or shoes, you just must get them. You are living with the self-imposed pressure just because you are not disciplined enough to say no. Number 4. The fourth reason why poor people buy what they can't afford is due to their willingness to impress others. Again, this is as a result of low self-esteem. Listen, the reason why you want to impress is because you were impressed. I've never met anyone who wishes to impress other people who is not impressed by others. And the reason why you are impressed by what other people drive or wear is because of your low self-esteem. People with a healthy self-esteem don't judge or envy people based on the house, cars, or phones they use. Because these people don't envy others based on little things, they simply assume that nobody else will envy them for such things. However, for those who envy others for their luxuries, they think other people will hold them in high esteem for using expensive phones or cars. Well, you're right. Average people will envy you for buying the phones and cars you can't afford, but the real people who matter won't. People who matter don't judge others based on their wristwatches. Only little people do that. I have some wonderful friends, and I've never seen any of them envying or appreciating my clothes, shoes, or phones because that isn't our priority. When we meet, we talk about ideas and solutions. None of us cares about what others wears or use. We only care about the solutions we are creating and the new ideas you are generating. If you are impressed by other people's phones, you will seek to impress others with your phone. If you envy people based on their cars, you seek to be envied by your car. If you have a healthy self-esteem and you really don't care what other people use, you will never imagine that anyone would care about your cheap phones, cars, or house. Number 5. The fifth reason why poor people buy what they can't afford is because of lack of vision. For more than 7 years, when I started out in the business world, I didn't buy new clothes or shoes, no wristwatch or expensive phone. Every single dollar I got was invested into my business. Why was I able to do that? Well, I knew I could sacrifice those years. A time will come when I'll be able to afford anything with ease. Because most people are not visionary, they are not able to see beyond today. If you can't see beyond today, you can as well destroy your tomorrow by spending everything you've got today. If you have a vision of a better tomorrow, it's pretty easy to sacrifice today. Save money, invest, and use simple and ordinary things. In summary, this video was not made to discourage you from buying new iPhones or anything your heart desires. We only wish to remind you that you can't eat your cake and still have it. Write this in your note. If you can't say no to things you can't afford today, you won't be able to say yes to things you need tomorrow. You enjoyed this video, didn't you? We would like to give you another interesting video for you to enjoy next. But before then, our team will be very happy if you can like this video and share it with your friends on social media. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss other interesting videos like this. Look at your screen now to see 2 other videos we unpick for you to enjoy next. We love you.